much metal in here. Oh. Oh my God. Damn, man.
What's going on?
What's up? How are you, bro?
Good.
Tell me what's going on here. You guys were talking about an issue with some staining after Stars and Stripes went on there. What's the latest? What's going on here?
So, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but kind of like just...
Yeah, something weird's going on in there. Yeah, something weird's going on in there. We got together last week and kind of looked this thing over a little bit. We're trying to get to the bottom of whatever happened here. So Ben and Keith own a bunch of these different trucks. They were washing for the first time with our Stars and Stripes soaps, did the whole fleet, and on this truck, things went sideways at the end of the whole thing. Same mix on the foam cannons, same water. It's a mystery. We're gonna try and see if we can get to the bottom of this and try and make it look better. We did buff out a little spot here just to see if we could make it look right, and we could, but you can see it, man. I'm sure it shows on camera. There's like this weird pattern right here,
Yeah,
and we gotta figure out how that got there.
On there, or, you know, something we did, or...
We don't know. We don't know. We're gonna have to get to the bottom of it though, and the goal is to never have that come up again. Unfortunately, in 5 years, this is the first time we've ever seen this, so we really have no value to offer to these poor guys. So we're gonna have to figure it out, and this will be good for us to see what might have caused that and how to fix it. So I think I've got this thing till this coming Friday, is that right?
Yeah.
You know what happens when I get alone with one of these trucks. So we'll take
This is our oldest truck, so...
Yeah. What year is this thing, by the way?
2002.
No kidding, huh?
We bought it used. It was our first aerial lift, so...
Nice.
Yeah.
A little bit sentimental then.
A little bit, yeah.
And usually, I think Keith was saying you guys normally use like super clean, like straight up pump sprayer.
Brutal. Greasers, whatever keeps it white.
Yeah.
We're not show trucks. We work them for sure. So.
I've got some super clean out back. Maybe we'll try that and see if we can straighten this thing out. I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway, we'll get on it, man. Thank you for dropping this off. Sorry that came up. We'll make it right for you.
Yeah.
So this is our new safety compliance officer right here, Kona.
Reporting for duty.
So before we get started today, we just have a couple things we got to trim up out in the parking lot.
Time to chop down some trees.
All right, let's go do a mission. All right, get in further. I got to get in.
I want to drive.
Kona, you're in my seat. Hey! All right, we got to clean some trees up. We got way too much overgrowth back here. Time to cut some trees down, bro.
Does he know that he can go up higher in that? I think he could go up in that bucket.
What?
I think he could use the bucket to go up higher.
What about this long pole? What's this one?
That's to get down low.
Wait, this is the down low one?
Yeah. I don't know if we're doing it right.
What are you talking about? I just have to reach away from it a little bit. We got to take advantage of this reach while we've got it, so we're going to clean our sign.
Yeah, you got some balls, bro.
So the first thing we have to do when something weird comes up like this is try to replicate the situation. So we have this strange stain here on this portion, even though they foamed the whole thing. But if you look at this pattern, you can literally see the top of the pattern. You can see where something was applied really strong right here. It spattered above that and then it ran down. So this is a mystery. We don't understand how this is only here, but we're gonna try and recreate that up here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna wash it with Stars and Stripes, which is the thing they were using when it happened. We're gonna use it at the normal strength, which is what they were using it at when they had this come up. And then we're gonna strengthen from there as needed. And we're gonna do whatever we can to make this happen so we understand. All right, let's get going on that. They were using chrome cannons when it happened, so we'll use chrome cannons. They were using the first generation ones. These are the 2.0 models, but that's fine because they're the same body. The only difference is this HDPE bottle is more durable, and the pickup tube is now weighted and on a flexible tube. So a couple differences there, and we are using a 1.1 millimeter orifice inside of these. They come with a 1.25. If you wanted to put that in, you just take off this coupler on the back here and it's right in there with a flathead screwdriver. You can switch those out. If you have a larger power washer and you need it, it's included. So we're gonna mix these up. We're gonna mix them 4 parts water and 1 part soap each, and that'll replicate what they were using. Oh, that is 800 milliliters. That is dead nuts. So these have the ratio guides on there. It has the milliliters and how much there are, and then it has some ratio guides. The ratio guides are going to show you the soap first. And I don't like to use the soap first in there because it makes a lot of foam when you add the water. It's just hard to measure. So they are backwards, but you could put the soap in there first and then add water over that, and then your ratio markers will be useful. But the ratio markers won't work if you're putting in the water first. So it says 1 to 10 right there. That 1 to 10, you'd fill up the soap to there, and you'd add water up to the top of the gauge here. Stars and stripes would be right around this 1 to 3 mark. What we're actually aiming for is 4 to 1, which is gonna be 800 milliliters water, and then top it off to the 1,000 milliliters with soap. Perfectly replicated. And we got our logo on these now, which is super nice. I'm gonna spray these on there and let them sit for way too long just to give them a chance to do whatever that was over there. So to get from my KEW Connect over into my QC Connect, we're gonna have to use, here wants to focus on my face, so here it is. This is a nice, fresh, new, fully stainless KEW plug with the Veloci Performance Prima made in goddamn America Quick Connect. So this is a little adapter, and then that's gonna get us from this new stainless steel KEW Connect into QC, and then we can go from QC to QC. All right, let's just put it on there and find out. So we can ruin this paint as much as we want because we're gonna fix it anyway. We might as well make it worse to find out what happened. It'll all fix the same at the end anyway. Maybe the buffing didn't help. Maybe we just added compound to the stain on top of it, made it look good. Maybe this is gonna clean it back off again. Who knows? So we'll see what happens. Let's let this thing bake for a few minutes and I'll be back. This is definitely drying. When soap's dry, it's not just dry on the whole thing. It dries in the middle of areas first. And when I say not to let the soaps dry, this is what I'm talking about. It's already dry in the middle of all these wet spots. So you really don't have that long when it comes to not letting the soaps dry. So I tell people to wash in sections. That's important. And the goal is to reduce the probability of weird problems coming up. But I want to see if this is enough to recreate that staining up higher. So let's rinse it off, dry it, and take a look. I'm a Milwaukee guy, but I got this thing because I have that cordless Ryobi power washer now, the 40 volt one, just to play with. This is like pretty impressive. This thing's, I think it's 570 CFM or something like that. If I point this down and I squeeze the trigger, I have to do a lot of work to hold this thing up. But check this out. I'm holding this thing down, if anything. I'm pulling it down. It wants to go up like a rocket. This thing's crazy. So let's use this to dry this real quick. We're almost entirely dry here. You can still see the staining here, but up top it's just not a thing. Uh-oh, we got somebody. Hey!
Locked out.
Alright, I just did test number 1, bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's time to up the stakes. So we were not able to transfer this drama upward with the normal strength Stars and Stripes, and I let it dry for 20 minutes. So that did not bring back the drama into our buffed area either, which is one thing I wanted to double check, because if this had been buffed before on this portion and then the soap cleaned that off, that's one thing I wanted to see. That did not happen. So you can see right here the buffed area is still good.
Yeah.
And then you go over into the stained area here and it's a mess.
Strange.
And what's crazy is you can see the top of the pattern. You can see the top of it. You can see the spatter, you can see where it was aimed at, and then you can see it running down. And then it stops. And I just let it dry up here. So what we have to do is heat this up. We gotta replicate the sun, bro.
Found this in the back.
Oh no! That's a complete failure of a hose right there. All right, hose repair, and then we can start our test. And we'll look for the infrared thermometer too.
Here, let's make sure this is with science real quick.
All right. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me get the initial reading. Okay, we're at 75. Oh yeah, it's working. All right, cool. Wow, that cooled right down. That was like 40 something. All right, so just torch up there, 74.7. Chris is reenacting the power of the sun.
Yeah, not too hot though. I don't want to wreck.
Don't turn it brown, yeah. That's the hot spot right there. Here we go. Oh, you can see it bubbling different right there. It's like drying so much faster where you're heating it. Let's like rinse this off, dry it again, and see what we got. There's no damage.
It did nothing.
Yeah, that's odd.
If anything, it cleaned it better.
Well, heat would activate the soaps a little bit and make them work better. Yeah, nothing. If anything, it's just cleaner. No staining. We're good here still, so we're gonna have to go way stronger.
You're not gonna believe it. Nothing happened.
So straight soap, foam cannon cutting 20 to 1 to the surface, 5 times stronger than intended.
I am 100% guilty of washing all my stuff like that.
Many people are guilty of this, of like using more soap than they need to. You
know
want to
what?
stretch it as far as you can and be happy with the results in your situation. But when you go real strong, you risk the chance of staining your polished aluminum. That's really the main problem with that. Other than that, I don't think you'd have any problems other than getting a really clean vehicle and wasting your money. Hit it with heat again right there. Careful, you're sending dirt out the holes. Look at it, you can see them coming out the grates.
Oh, goddamn it.
You're making it dirty all over again. Here, hit this spot right here. We were at 207 for a second there. Even where it was up to 210 or whatever degrees.
Yeah, I mean,
No stain though. So far, we're not able to get it replicated. We're gonna have to go stronger. You ready?
Step 2.
Okay, we got it on there. Who knows, man? Honestly, from interviewing them, we really can't tell what the heck happened. And we've never seen this come up before, so it's like, we just gotta do our best to try and recreate the situation and take it from there. This thing's just about dry. I would say it's time to rinse it and see what the heck's left. What do you think?
I don't see a difference.
Because we haven't actually washed it yet. We're not able to see any staining here. There's a little bit of residue where the soap was running that appears to be wiping off. So still, you can see the staining down here from the original situation. Still no drama on the buffed out area and nothing above. I feel like I can see just a little bit of soap residue from letting it dry, so we're gonna just try the awesome sauce on that. The awesome sauce would not wipe off this stuff. You had to buff this out with some compound. So just to see if we can get some of that soap residue off of there. We'll try this down here for the heck of it. See, now I'm seeing a little bit of like soap stains where it's running a little bit, but it is wiping off if I hit it with this awesome sauce. Yeah, you can see the stains pretty good right there. And nothing everywhere else where we just did all that. So we know now for sure that we are not able to do that with Stars and Stripes. Now we just have to play with some other stuff. Let's bust out the Super Clean and the Purple Power, not to throw them under the bus. There's just certain things you do and do not want to do with Super Clean or Purple Power, This is the one up here. I think this got pulled out of a Caldor from 1987. Hold on to that.
But I don't think they've changed their stickers since
No,
1987.
it's definitely from 1987. Super clean. I'm under the impression that Purple Power is not the best on paint, and these guys have used Super Clean before. So let's just do a couple spot treatments and see what happens. Super clean, super clean. Purple Power. Power of purple running straight down.
I do see a lot more streaking in it, but nothing like the damage down here. Like, I wouldn't recommend putting that stuff on your paint.
Well, I think everybody knows not to use Purple Power undiluted on your paint and let it dry. We're just trying to make something happen to the effect of what happened on the bottom of this thing.
Science.
I swear to God they got vandalized, man. They don't think they did. There's no way that somebody didn't just spray some crazy,
What messes up
concrete dissolving acid onto that thing or something. I don't know.
Brake fluid?
Brake fluid would do it. They had to put some brake fluid or hydraulic fluid onto that. Somebody did that to them when they weren't looking, went down the whole side of this thing.
I don't think anybody vandalized it. It is strange. It's so strange though.
Check out this front fender. This is what's really a big mystery to me. How do you wash with stars and stripes everywhere and get a stain that stops here? How do you do that?
Yeah.
I just can't figure out what could have happened other than somebody said, I'm pissed that these guys took down trees in my neighbor's yard, and they showed up in the middle of the night and sprayed stuff here, and then they sprayed stuff here, and they sprayed stuff here. Because if you wash with stars and stripes, you're gonna get the stars and stripes up here, not just right here.
Everywhere.
You can't use a foam cannon and get that pattern. And that's why I'm thinking it's not necessarily the stars and stripes. But whatever the case, we're gonna make them look good again.
I hope they weren't vandalized. They're really good dudes. Hard workers.
Dude, they were tree guys.
Yeah.
They were telling me about a crazy story of some Karen next door to a job they were doing that was pissed that, you know, they were taking down the trees and made a big scene about it.
She's taking her pants off and mooning them.
Literally. 60-year-old lady. I'd say vandalism, bro. That's gotta be it. It's not a cop-out, it's just like my best guess.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean.
And you know, the thing is, we're still gonna make this right for them. Even though we can't replicate it with our stuff, we wanna make it look good, make them feel all right, and primarily wanna give them some confidence back that this thing is gonna be able to be washed with stars and stripes, help them save some time, and not have to stress about this coming up again. I don't think it'll come up for them again. The spot that we polished out, it's still solid. There's no drama on that from our test buffing area. It's still good after all that torture test, so. I'd say it's time to just get this thing clean. That's enough messing around, man. Let's get on it.
Can we raise the boom?
Yeah, let's raise it up. We got to get at it anyway, because that's all got to get articulated a little bit so that we can do a good job cleaning it. There's a generator in here that we're gonna have to fire up. Let's see. Choke. How does this work?
Slide that one over and override, and then slowly press those ones.
Oh! Oh!
Hold the top one.
Whoa! Alright, I did it.
You should let Keith know. This thing made a funky sound when we were putting that other downrigger down.
How did these get open, bro?
I don't know.
Dude, I can't stop.
Knock it off.
I think we'll continue to use the stars and stripes to give this thing a good clean before we buff it all out. And going up top up there, I might use some heavy duty or something along those lines just to get it a little further. We'll see how this goes. I still got my foam cannons from before. This is straight stars. So we're gonna wash the whole damn thing with it. Since we're gonna be doing so much fixing, we might as well find out if there's any harm to be done, you know? I don't think that anything will happen, but let's find out. Straight stars coming right up. We need the stripes on there next, so here we go. At this strength, the stripes really cleans out the rubber. Burning through material on this one. I mean, the goal is to find out are we gonna be able to damage the truck? Is there any way you can do it? So far, I'm feeling pretty good about not seeing damage on the paint while doing all this. You know, just to be able to like do this and just look at it later, I'm trying to let it dry, you know, going way too strong with this stuff. So I'm feeling it. I'm feeling pretty good about this. You know, all the caution that I give people about not using this stuff too strong, it all boils down to mirror polished aluminum and not doing anything negative to that. That's a very difficult surface to not damage, and I have to ride a fine line with this stuff. It's strong enough to clean, but not too strong to damage polished aluminum. The paint we never really see issues on. That's why I was surprised when these guys said they had something come up, and I really wanted to investigate it. I'm feeling pretty good about it now, just seeing the pattern and thinking about it for a while. Like, you really can tell that that was a pump sprayer application on this. Anyway, I think that's gotta be what happened. Who knows, but let's keep on washing this thing. Alright, working from this scissor lift is proving difficult. I want to get over here onto this thing, and then I'm going to clean it from the roof. It's going to allow me to get a little more hands-on. The boom has a lot of those stripes that come down from the top, those dark streaks. And Stars and Stripes doesn't do a lot to get those out. It'll do a little bit, but we need to get in there with some physical agitation just to take it a little further. So I'm gonna rig up my squeeze trigger here with a little stubby nozzle, and we'll probably hook up a foaming brush to that directly, just for fun. I want to try and see what I can do to make this easier. I think we'll inject some heavy duty through it or some Liquid-X, either way. I think Liquid-X might do a pretty good job on those streaks. Let's try that out first. This is my plan of attack. So we've got this thing. This is a foaming boar's hair brush. I don't know if this is going to be useful or not. I have a couple of different roads here. So we got this as a foamer slash brusher at the same time. Or I've got my injector set to Liquid-X down below. So I can foam on my soap with this and then brush it with this. This is a new style of tank brush that I just brought in from Universal Brush. I like these. I think that they're going to be a good solution. The purpose of this kind of brush is to get into a lot of weird places and hit all angles from all sides as much as possible. It doesn't complete the radius like the tank brushes I used to carry, but it's a lot more cost effective, and I like that they're available in blue and red. I'm going to get hands-on with this thing, and my goal is to get these tiger stripes off of here. See all those? I think that my Liquid-X might do it. Let's find out. See if it gets this junk out of here. See, the thing is, I don't really like holding this brush. I feel like I might want to use my heavy duty soap, although this seems to be working. I think, oh geez, look at inside there. There's a bunch of grease in there. I guess that would make sense. Let's try this a little bit different layout here. Hang on. So now we can inject our foam with that, and we can go back to rinse from here. This increases the pressure coming through the line, which turns off the venturi down below and its ability to draw the soap. So I can turn on and off my rinse from up here. Pretty useful when you're not close to the source. All I have to do is just plug this in right here and disconnect that, and it'll switch modes. Liquid-X foams up good. One-handed. Yep. Yeah, they kind of like get into some weird areas a little bit more. Pretty useful. This brush seems to be a little more appropriate for scrubbing harder than the boar's hair. Boar's hair, like that foaming brush, is very soft, which is good if you're trying not to scratch anything. But I am trying to scratch things. I'll scratch it clean. Let's rinse off some of this soap, and then we'll switch it up with some heavy duty, see if that does a little better. Just a couple small brushes, these larger tank style brush over there. I've got some straight heavy duty if I really need it, and a rinse nozzle. I've got the foaming nozzle if I want to douse it on real strong. I have it running through the injector down there too. With all of this, we should be able to tackle it. These brushes, I got them in red and blue, and I thought that that would be helpful for me because I'm planning on using the red ones for this kind of greasy stuff, and then the blue one for stuff that's not greasy or not as nasty. That way I can kind of hopefully protect some nicer surfaces. I mean, these are not really for paint. I mean, if you don't care about your paint, then that's probably fine then, but you know, these are more for like really rough areas, undercarriage stuff, framework, heavy equipment, stuff like this. This was an old Asplund truck, so I'm trying not to hit it too hard with the pressure because it's all orange underneath. Whatever this white paint is not very durable, that's for sure. Before I get to buffing this thing tomorrow, I want to hit it with some iron remover. I'm just going to apply that to the side panels and all the areas that were stained. I'm not going to buff everything, but I can't buff everything. This is too much. And we'll just see what turns purple, and hopefully that'll get any metals out of the paint and prevent us from, you know, having to fight that when we're buffing it. And then I'll rinse that all off and let this dry overnight, and we'll start in the morning on the buffing. So let's figure out a good fast way to put on some iron remover. This is our iron remover concept here. The question is, can it be foamed through a Foam Pro 12? I'm wondering. Alright, this is not for the foaming sprayers, this is for a non-foaming one. It's definitely coming into contact with some iron. See it all over the place in there. Let me pop open a Multi-Pro 9. This is a non-foaming version of the foaming one that I normally use. These will come with a couple different things. You got an adjustable end that's like a trigger sprayer that you can turn into a jet or fan it out into a cone, or you've got these fan adapters. Now these look exactly like these. I mean, they even make one that's the same exact height, the Multi-12. I've had a bunch of people complain when they buy the multi-sprayer thinking it's the foaming one. So I put it in the title. I said, you know, non-foaming, right in the title, and foaming in the title. This is named a Foam Pro 12 brackets foaming. And this is called a Multi-Pro 9 or 12 non-foaming. People keep buying them. So I'm discontinuing these ones. Even though I'm finding it useful to not have a foaming version right now for this purpose. If you need one of these, you know, you just search for a Multi-Pro 9, you get it on the internet anywhere. As for me, I just am tired of people buying it, expecting it to foam, because I normally use the foaming one. It's the pump sprayer that makes the soap foam, not the soap. I'm gonna name this iron remover Witch's Brew, because it's like magical when it turns purple on iron and it smells like gas. See, that's way nicer for applying this. Same thing with aluminum brighteners. I've found that aluminum brighteners don't like the foaming pump sprayers. There's a place for these things for sure. How nice to put this on in a hurry though, right? This has got some serious like orange coming out of it. Is that the orange from underneath when this was an Asplund truck? Boy, that is definitely doing something. Orange and purple. Look at this spot. Holy moly. I mean, heck, we'll put it on there. It'd be funny if we were making progress and making this better, and then this is the thing that strips all of the white paint off of this truck and turns it orange again. Maybe I should not do any more before I find out for sure. We're certainly getting some iron out of this. I just think this is going to be a very strange test. It's going to be very difficult. I'm hoping that I'm not ruining this thing. Hang on a second. All right, so that seems to be coming out. There's just like a lot of really concerning orange in this paint right now. It makes me nervous. Like this area here, you can see this is paint that was brushed on right there. I don't want any weird like spots left over when we're done here. Definitely got the stuff running out though. A lot of it. A lot of purple coming out of here. Wow. Yeah, but this like dark orange is concerning. I just hope it's not gonna look like that after I try and rinse it. Wow, there's so much metal in here. Is that like from the chainsaws or something? Like the teeth on the chain just spraying metal all over it or something? Why is there so much iron in here? Wow. Iron coming out of everything. Look at that weird spotting going on. I didn't even spray up there. That's scary, man. I'm gonna rinse this off, just make sure nothing weird happens. That's just strange. That's having a weird effect on that paint. This paint is very odd, and I'm wondering what we're gonna find when we try and start buffing it, because it's not like there's a lot to buff, you know, there's no clear coat at all. Whew. Hopefully we can make it look better than when we started. All right, so I'm back in here the next morning, things all dry, and now I can see what we've got to work with here. I took the license plate off this bumper here so we could see a good contrast of what we had before and what we have after the iron remover. And what's crazy is you can see that all the paint that's normal, like automotive, was fine with the iron remover, but there's some brushed on stuff that did not like it, and it kind of made you see through it, I feel like, to the previous orange color that this thing was before. I think that's what's going on anyway, because you can see where the license plate was and where it was not. So this is what we're dealing with on these painted areas. And I'm wondering how this is going to take with our buffing. You know, I don't think that that's really going to help us. So I think the only thing I can do to help them on this is to spray paint it back to a gloss white. The problem is, like, it's hard to know where to draw the line. You know, there's so much work to be done on this thing, and I'm just doing this for free to be nice. You know, I mean, this staining, I don't really believe that our stars and stripes caused the staining that was on here in the first place after our test. But now I do have a problem that I caused with our iron remover. So you look at right here, see the brush strokes and that crazy color. Upon further examination right now, I don't think that we're seeing through to the previous orange color. I think that we're just seeing the house paint stuff turn like peach color. So you can see all the places where it got spot treated with that before. Right here, and some other areas like along this thing right here. This has been rolled on. You can kind of see that rolled texture. We have all these different things, and then you look over here, you can see where they put a slather of house paint or whatever on there, right here. So the iron remover and whatever that touch-up paint they were using didn't get along. It got along fine on the normal paint, thankfully, but everywhere that they've done a touch-up is now peach colored. I mean, the moral of the story is this. I always tell everyone else to try a small spot first, and then I always go ham, even with something brand new like my iron remover. You know, the trick is that if you're gonna buff out the paint, I mean, it's a good idea to get that iron out of there so you're not swirling it in with the buffer. At the same time, now we've got this other weird issue where we get this discoloration going on. I think the only solution is to just hit this with a sander and kind of spot treat these areas for them so that they look a little more acceptable. Thank goodness these guys aren't in a hurry. And thank goodness I'm not getting paid, because I'd rather deal with these kind of problems for free than be trying to make sure that it's done really right, you know? If you can get money in the mix, all of a sudden you probably should do things a little bit more legit. Isn't that right, Coleman?
You can't cut corners just because it's no charge.
A little bit of 320. Got one of these orbitals right here. I don't want you guys to in any way think that this is the right way to handle this. This isn't even detailing. I don't know what, the only thing I'm seeing here right now is it looks horrible and I think I can make it a little better. Even though I don't know at all what I'm doing, I'm gonna just do it anyway because I can't make it worse than it is. And I believe that, even though I've made it worse than it was already. I believe that I can't make it any further worse than it is right now. I can't go full on all the way on this. There's no way, but at least I can do my best to give it, you know, a good shot. Tell you one thing, man. Don't make my life choices. Working for free on a Sunday, doing this kind of stuff. Come on. I'm sure this is the wrong paint. I see how it's gonna go. Stuff seems kind of runny. Oh yeah, this is gonna look real bad. Gonna have to let this stew for quite a while before I come back, and I'll do a very light sanding to get some of the streaks and drips out from all the humidity, and then we can buff it. We'll see how this thing buffs. I don't know, it's not like normal paint. And it's the next morning and all of the paint is nice and dry. Thing is, I've got a bunch of sags because we're dealing with 110 million% humidity. So I gotta sand this down just a little bit. We certainly have a nicer finish there than everywhere else, which is unfortunate. So I'm gonna have to level this out and see how this all buffs out. But I'm pretty happy with how this looks in general. Like, I tried to spray it real light and then come back and just kind of add to it once it got a little tacky. But man, that humidity was making things difficult. I managed to not get any sags in this area. And sanding it, I was able to take out some of the brush marks from when they hand painted this thing before. And even the roller marks down here. This is looking a lot better. But I might want to just scuff it up and go over it one more time. I'll just give it a little bit of a tune up. Man, this sucks because I got to buff this thing. I got to get this thing out of here because it's got to go. It's like we're running out of time. And I have to paint this and let it dry while the humidity is so high. I don't know if I can get it to where this is gonna be dry enough to buff it. We're hosting a charity thing this Saturday, and it's to wash a bunch of motorcycles down. We do it every year for the Shriners. And so I need this thing out of here so that we can do that event. I'm afraid because this paint isn't very good, and I'm wondering how it's gonna buff, you know? Like, I could picture going right through this stuff right to the orange beneath it. But hey, look at this bumper. Look at how much better this thing came out. Like, this bumper actually cleaned up pretty good. I got some overspray in there for you, a little overspray right here for you. All right, so the first thing I got to do is sand this thing down a little bit. All we can do is just keep working. I think this is going to be a late night. I need some Red Bull in my life, I think. All right, here we go. off of there too. All right, let's try and get this sag out of here. I'm not trying to show you the right way to do it, okay? I'm just trying to make it look okay. Just doing some quick, light sanding, all right? See that little sag right there? I don't even think that sag was from me. I think I'm fixing some other problems on here. You know, the really sad part is that the guys who own this truck are probably watching this video too, and they're like, oh my God. See, if you buy our soaps, you could have this experience yourself. Bring it on over, I'll fix it. So there's a couple spots that I still want to touch up. Like, I don't know, these guys, their paint's just chipping off everywhere. So, I mean, my thought is, if it looks like this, I can only make it better, right? Let's fix this whole mess up here too. The crazy part is I do believe I'm helping. It may not look like it, but I believe we're doing these gentlemen a service. It's amazing that I could delude myself into believing that I'm helping, isn't it? This stuff guarantees no runs and no drips and no errors, which is ridiculous. Why would they say something like that? It's just completely false. The trick here is just to not put on too much. And I'm still putting on too much. Putting on a thin layer. All you pro automotive paint guys out there watching right now thinking, man, how about that, huh? Because you know, this is the right paint to use. What do you need, bro? Come in, come in. Chris has shown up just in time to take over. You ready, bro? Let's go. Look at this area. We got touch-ups. You know, my thought is we can patch up the paint and then make it all level with the buffer. An aggressive compound, maybe? So we gotta cut out a template for on there, man. I figure we hold a big piece of cardboard over this. We're gonna jam a knife right in here against the rubber on the sidewall. Cut it open that way. We're looking to create as few problems as we possibly can on this one, all right? These guys are gonna hate me forever. Every time I look at this truck, they're gonna be like, that guy cursed the day that we bought the other guy's soaps and then asked for help on how to fix its problems. You got the cardboard, bro.
I'm trying to think of a better way to
You're trying to think of a better way.
paint rims. Don't you have a rim out back?
Nice, we got a stencil. Let's go see how it fits. Oh, that's mint. And even the height's kind of mint. Let's just try and get the rim. Oh, this is working really well. Oh, it's a little sloppy.
You're gonna have to get it on an angle.
Yeah. This is what happens when you walk into my studio, bro. Keep going. We're all going to be very surprised if this thing turns out okay. Before I get on to all the buffing on this thing, I'm just going to touch up some bed liner under here. So this is all kind of wet still. I'm gonna have to let this sit for one more night while it levels out, and I'm really hoping that my buffer can like make it all look like the same finish when we're done. But we'll see. I mean, all we can do is try and make it better. So I went to my local Car Quest, and sounds like a plug. Nobody's paying me to do any of this. This is all they had. They had one of each pack. Fortunate they had anything. So this is yellow means medium cut, which is probably not enough. Blue is for polishing, and green is for light cut and polish. I mean, these are nice and big, which is good, but I feel like I'd rather get some nice Rupes pads. Those same things seem pretty cool. I got some of those from Obsessed Garage when I first bought this buffer, but I wore them out, and I don't have them right now. Lit this thing again in the morning, hit it hard. We'll have a little bit more light then, but I'm pretty happy with where the paint's going now. All right, here we are at the next morning. I am beat up by this thing, man. Certain things are looking really good, like where we've painted. Other areas I'm experimenting with. So before I just got going with the camera here, I was playing around with this a little bit and just trying to buff out this paint and seeing how this reacts to that process. And it's kind of a pain. I'm tempted to just rattle can all this stuff, you know, square again, because I think it'll come out a little bit nicer. And I had to paint these handles anyway with all the peeling paint that they had going on. So these are looking better, but all the panels in between, all that damage there. And I got to be real careful. When I was washing, I started to see some of that previous, you can see the inside of the roof of the cabs, all that orange from the previous tree company that wanted to peek through right here, and I was like, oh my god. And it's everywhere, it's not just like there. I mean, it was already like popping through in different corners. All right, I'm gonna get some more rattle can paint, and then I'm just gonna focus my efforts on trying to make this look a little bit shinier with the buffer. Hopefully I'll get enough done on the outside to where we think it's good, then I can switch gears to the inside of the cab, maybe tune that up a little bit for them too. I wasn't able to get it as good as I want, but it is a lot better than it was. Just didn't quite get that stain out all the way right here. Fortunately, those stains are only in, I think, this spot and right under the logo and under the door handle. I don't think I see it anywhere else. I think this other door handle's the only one. Thankfully, they must have run out of juice in that pump sprayer full of whatever the heck this was.
Running out of time.
Yeah, it's the final day, so we have to nail this today. And this truck, man, it just keeps on giving. I thought we had it. We did the heavy cut. We're using these awful big giant foam pads, and I thought we were getting it. We did the heavy cut here, and it looked good. And then I came back with the next polishing pass, you know, thinking I was gonna get it better. It turns out the polishing pass brought the stains back. Can you believe this, Kona?
I want nothing to do with this.
Man, very depressing. Good as new. Look at that. Yeah, we're actually getting it now. Okay, I'm starting to feel pretty good about that. That's nice. Before I get onto this top course up here and wrap up the buffing entirely, there's one thing that I want to do that I know I'm going to regret if I don't do it. So I have a choice right now. I can either do the interior or I can fix this grill. And so I think that if I start fixing this grill right now, tape all this off, give that a little bit of black paint, then I can continue finishing buffing over there, tune up a few things like wash up the wheels and dress those. And then hopefully that'll be dry enough to throw some snake oil on the thing later tonight, because I definitely intend to coat the entire thing with that. Let's give that a shot. Let me tape this all off right now, and then we'll be rocking and rolling with the last stages here. I'm gonna use some bed liner material to paint this so that it has a nice rough texture. It'll hide all these imperfections, I think. And it'll be really nice and difficult to clean bugs off of for them. Remember, we're not trying to make it perfect, okay? We're trying to make it better. The good old Rust-Oleum truck bed coating. This ain't a truck bed, I don't know what it is. Oh God, no. Oh yeah, it was in here just like this. Clear Gorilla Glue. We're not gonna let this truck beat us, okay? We will prevail. Just a little bit to cover our sins. This is like wood. This is a piece of wood. Are these all made out of wood? I kid you not, this is a piece of wood. These are not wood. This one and this one and this one are wood. Can you even believe this right now? We're gonna hold that on with paint, okay? This might seem like a ridiculous thing to do, but I think it's turning out pretty good. We'll see how bad of an idea this was in the long run, but for now, it'll look pretty good. All right, while this tacks up for a little while, I'm gonna go finish buffing out that other side, and then I might have time to do the interior work today. Let's see. All right. I think we have some time to get involved in here. Let's blow out the insides. Oh, there's water in there. Huh. Did they glue their floor mat down? Why did they do that? Huh. Look at that. I think that's everything. Here, let's try this thing real quick. Wow. What did they do? Seriously, why would you silicone your mat down like that? It doesn't hit as hard as the Tornador or the Rad Company Air Blaster, but it hits hard enough and there's no wires. I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, it's just kind of, you know, easy. I bought that on TikTok Shop. There was a flash sale for $100 and I got taken advantage of, I'm sure. Now let's use the Air Blaster and just see if we can get any more out of there. These just hit a little harder. This hits much harder. That's not, I mean, the other blower is like volume. This has impact. In all my years of using the Tornador Z014, it did the job and it was a good tool for me. It's always been a good tool for me. I still have the same one I started with. And that says something. I've had to replace the nylon whip a couple times. I haven't had this mechanical bearing fail yet on mine, but I'm sure it will eventually. At that point, I'll probably have to clean it out. Thing is, this thing hits a lot harder. Now, I do have a large air compressor. I've got a giant, 80-gallon compressor tank, 24 CFM compressor. And so this thing lets through more air than the Tornador. That's a good thing on a compressor that's big enough. It's not a good thing on a tiny one. All right, let's do some interior testing. My chemist handed me both of these. One of these is my current interior cleaner and the other is a mod. Basically, we're getting a new supplier for the fragrance. He wants to see if I can tell a difference. All right, A, here we go. I'm curious if I can tell a difference either. And B. I wonder if changing the fragrance could help the glass smearing that I don't like. Got two separate brushes here. B on blue. Wonder how much of this paint's gonna be left by the time I get done. Probably not a whole lot. Oh. A. It'd be going a little bit again. This is how it's done, guys. I think B is the new one. The idea is that this new fragrance would smell a little bit more like green tea. I don't want to mess this one up because green tea has been pretty popular. Fragrance is tough. Fragrance is like a preference thing. It can be difficult to make a good decision on. I always try and have my team help out a little bit. Let's see if I can split this rag up so I don't cross-contaminate it too much. I do want to see how it dries, make sure there's no weirdness with the oils. A little scuffy on the door a little bit. I don't know if that would have cleaned up anyway. On this side, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like there's a hair more sheen on the left here, which I don't like. I don't want it to look greasy, bro. I want it to just look clean. Well, there you have it. Pretty similar all the way around. Definitely see a little more sheen on this one for some reason. We'll keep playing with these. But I'm interested in making the green tea a little more green tea-ish. We'll do A on the passenger side and B on the driver's side here. He's whipping up pretty good. Feels a little runny. What's going on here? Practically none of my team watches my videos. I figure instead of like just talking with my chemist in person about this, I'll just make him watch the video. Like, you curious how it turned out, bro? Let me know what you thought. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Yeah, I'm gonna come back in here with the steamer and just really nail this stuff. Just because it's so satisfying. You know, there's something about it. Let's try A. You just gotta polish your knobs.
What's taking so long?
I know. We'll go home soon, all right? Poor little lady. I know, you're not as much a workaholic as I am.
You're unbalanced.
Where's that guy with the wood louvers, man, when you need him? This thing just feels brittle. The steamer's probably gonna be, I mean, it's gonna be safer on a me not snapping things off physically level, and it's gonna be more dangerous on a me discoloring things level. You know, the question is, what's gonna happen? A little heavy duty straight up in here can't hurt nothing there. It ain't super pretty, but it's, you know, better than it was. Look at that. Let's get the outside cleaned up a little bit. Did you want to help?
No, I'm the safety supervisor.
And all there is the overspray from the last time this got painted this way. That's so depressing. Oh, it's filled with mulch. Whoa. That was totally worth it. And the white around here, man, it's like paint dust all over my stuff. It's been a dusty job. Okay, the next thing is to get all this compound and dust off the thing. Let's just use Liquid-X and then heavy duty, because that's what we have hooked up. Let's do the heavy duty first and just kind of hit the rubber up. Got a lot of paint speckle on the rubber, and I'd like to use a coarse drill brush. Well, dang it, we stained it again. Now the junk that was in the tire got stuck in the fresh paint. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dry this thing off. We're gonna spritz it one more time real quick, just real quick. We're gonna juice the tires. And we're gonna tell these guys that this truck shall never be washed again. Enjoy the fact that it's been cleaned and just kind of leave it at that. Well, here's hoping that's the end of the painting. Pretty sure that that's it, but look at how ridiculous my squeeze trigger is on these. How did this happen? I certainly don't want to get this tire shine on the paint, so I'm putting it on by brush. Instead of using heavy duty real strong like that and creating all this paint drama on the rest of the rooms, I'm gonna hit this thing in the morning once that cures up, and once the grill is all the way there too, we'll just use Liquid-X on this thing, just a nice neutral pH soap. We're gonna clean it, and then we're gonna snake oil it, and then we're gonna dry it, and then we're gonna hit the rest of these tires with the tire shine, and I hope that's it. Oh my God. This bed liner paint went through, down, and onto the top of this bumper here. All right, I think we saved it. Heck with this thing, calling it a night. It has been accomplished. Things are looking all right. All the louvers are there. The stains are gone. Paint is fresh. The rim has been painted twice. And all that is left now is a little bit of a neutral pH wash. And I'm just gonna tell these guys, don't ever wash this thing again. And don't use my stuff. I just don't wanna be involved, you know? Let's hit these real quick and tune this thing up all the rest of the way. I swear to God, this messes up any more of this paint. We're just gonna use the Liquid-X on this one. You know, I just don't know. I don't know anymore, man. Let's just hit it with the neutral pH Liquid-X, all right? And hopefully that doesn't do anything weird to all the fresh paint I put on this thing. Okay, fingers crossed we didn't have any louvers pop off the grill. This wheel's not stained. I don't see any funny things going on in the paint. Let's move on to the back wheels. The back of this doesn't need much. This thing just died, but I got about 12 minutes at full throttle. It's not great. I think they make these with like Milwaukee or DeWalt or Makita battery adapters too. The only limitation is the battery. I think this is the same guts you might get in one of those bigger blowers. I'll have to do some tests with these, but I got about 3 or 4 times around this just to kind of progressively dry it. It's still pretty wet in the far away areas, but it hits pretty good. All right, I've only got about 20 more minutes before these guys show up, so I gotta juice the tires real quick, finish drying it up, and take some after shots.
Are the owners almost here?
Yeah, they'll be here any minute.
I bet they're gonna be pissed about the horrible way you handled their truck.
I'm never gonna clean a truck again, dude.
It's the last one.
It's over. I'm retiring after this one. This thing fought me every step of the way, bro. Kona thinks we did a half-assed job.
Yeah. You didn't even wash the undercarriage.
Hey, we did the best we could, right?
Nope.
I think it looks pretty dang good. Dude, what's up, guys?
How are ya?
What do you think?
Oh my god.
Don't look too close, all right? I've been looking at this thing real close for a long time, and I feel like
It's never been so white, man.
I made it a little whiter than it was in a couple spots.
Oh my god.
You want to talk about a project, man? This one nearly broke me. Oh my god. This is all new paint. This is courtesy of Rocky's Ace Hardware, the Krylon white gloss.
It looks good.
I masked it off, did my best there.
It looks amazing. I mean, the fact that the bucket is that clean too. I mean,
He didn't even touch the bucket.
scratch the floor.
These guys
How did I not notice that one? I know. You've touched every centimeter.
Oh yeah, it's from. Oh dude.
Doesn't smell like wood chips anymore.
We buffed this out while you guys were here, and I did our tests right here at full strength, and it didn't come back.
Yeah.
But I'm so nervous about this thing at this point that I'm like, dude, don't even wash it at all, is my thought. Just leave it.
We're not. If it has to get washed, we'll bring it back here.
We should immortalize this moment in video, and it should just remain untouched.
We're buying you lunch. We're coming here. We're gonna hit it.
I'm glad to help you guys out. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I was
it looks unbelievable.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to really try and be able to fry the paint, because since we were going to fix it anyway, we were able to really dive into stars and stripes on the paint, and it gave me a lot more confidence that the stuff is, you know, fine on surfaces like this. Whatever was going on with that stuff, I would love to know.
We would too.
We couldn't do it. I even put brake fluid on one section, and I still couldn't get it to do that.
It's crazy how clean this thing is. It's never ever.
Yeah. Thanks for being. I mean, after we came here and you tried to replicate it and we couldn't, you know, we didn't expect you to do this. That's I mean, way more than a stand-up guy. And especially taking this time to fix it, you know.
Whether it was our stuff or not, I still wanted you guys to be in a good spot. So
I mean, after what we saw, I don't think it was yours. It must have been something that was on the paint.
Or reacting to it. We're not sure.
Whatever the case, the title of this video is going to be like, "This is why you try a small spot." You know what I mean? That's it. I should have taken my own advice like 3 or 4 times on this myself.
Oh yeah, we use that heavy duty, by the way, on 16.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
That's impressive.
Well, don't use it on these tires, man. Want to eat in the paint? It's gotta have lead in it.
If it didn't taste good.
He's cleaning up the floor for us. Alright, I'm gonna retire now.